Hey, what's up guys? It has been a while. Life's been just absolutely nuts. Life is crazy. Got 4 kids. Got a 1-year-old who is giving us a run for our money, I'll tell you that much. But I've been really wanting to make this video. I made a previous video about my journey of getting into FPV and recorded my maiden flight, my first time flying my iFlight Nazgul Evoke. The next step in my FPV journey was picking an action camera to put on this bad boy. Frankly, the image quality coming out of the onboard air unit, right? The DJI air unit, it's just not there. It's just not as good as action cameras. Pulling the image from the onboard air unit just doesn't quite cut it. I mean, the HD video is crisp and clear in the DJI goggles, and I couldn't ask for anything more while piloting the drone. But the recorded footage out of it just isn't where I want to be. The dynamic range isn't there. The sharpness isn't there. It's this exact same camera that's essentially on the original Avata. And it does have its shortcomings. So again, shortly after posting that video, I then started looking at the newest action cameras on the market and trying to decide which one I should go with. The GoPro Hero 12. GoPro's latest and greatest, right? And then we had the DJI Action 4. DJI's latest and greatest action camera. Both these companies make great products and great tools to capture moments. Just, they have their niche. I mean, DJI has done great things with their action cameras and are more than holding their own against GoPro, that is a veteran. And GoPro essentially invented action cameras. But regardless, I was looking at both of these cameras, doing a lot of research in the specs, watching reviews and videos, and I mean, ultimately I made a decision. And it's not what you would expect. So now I'm going to share with you which action camera it is that I decided to purchase and slap on my FPV drone. And that camera is no other than the GoPro Hero 11 Mini. Yeah, so you're probably asking yourselves, wait Daniel, you were researching the Hero 12 against the Action 4 and you landed on a completely different camera. I mean, the Hero 12 and the Action 4, their specs align pretty well. I mean, I'm not gonna dive into the specs. I mean, there's plenty of videos out there that compare the two, where they actually put footage side by side. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not doing that. I chose the 11 Mini for other reasons. I mean, the specs are amazing. I don't need any more than the 11 Mini has to offer. I mean, first of all, I'm gonna start off by saying that the 11 Black Mini comes in at $250 rather than the Hero 12 Black that is $400. And in all honesty, the specs really aren't far off from one another. I mean, there's a few things in the 11 Mini that are inferior to the 12, but they're not things that matter to me and my purposes and what I'm gonna use it for. Yes, the Hero 12 has Hypersmooth 6.0 when the 11 Mini has Hypersmooth 5.0. It doesn't matter, I'm going to be using gyro flow to stabilize the footage anyways. The 11 Mini has horizon lock. The 11 Mini has horizon leveling. They have the same image sensor. It's the same size and everything. The 11 Mini even does 10-bit color. I know guys are gonna blow me up in the comments. Oh, but the 12 has log. So, I'm not filming for a freaking motion picture. The flat color profile in the 11 Mini works just fine in pulling the shadows out and getting pretty decent dynamic range. And with 10-bit color, yeah, you can pull those shadows out. You can do some really awesome color grading in post. So yeah, with 10-bit, flat profile, I'm good, man. Now another spec that was essential for me in an action camera, which the 11 Mini has, is that 8:7 aspect ratio. With the 8:7 aspect ratio, you're using the entire sensor. And then in post, I can crop that vertically for social media, for Reel or YouTube Short, or I can crop horizontally in a traditional aspect ratio for a YouTube video such as this. In short, the 11 Mini covered all the bases and the specs I desired. Mainly 4K 60, 10-bit color, and that 8:7 aspect ratio. That really are the main things that I wanted and was looking for in an action camera. In all honesty, that's all I need. That's all I was looking for. And the 11 Mini checked all those boxes. But something else that the 11 Mini checked that the Action 4 and the Hero 12 didn't is, in my opinion, durability. It doesn't have any screens, right? It doesn't have any screens on it that can break. I mean, this thing's gonna crash. I'm gonna crash my FPV drone. If you think you're not gonna crash your FPV drone, you're getting this hobby and you're going to the simulator and you're doing everything right and you're hitting gaps and flying and you're confident and everything else, but you're still gonna crash. In real life, you're gonna end up crashing sooner or later. And I felt that not having screens on the action camera would make it more durable. It's just one less thing to break, one less thing to worry about. Plus, hold on one second, be right back. Okay, I'm just gonna slap the battery on this bad boy really quick. All right, battery's on. So, when my battery is on the drone, even if there's a touch screen on the back of this thing, I can't I can't access it. I can't touch the screen to adjust settings or to change video settings or anything for that matter. The back screen is essentially useless when this camera is on my drone. So, do I need it? No. Am I gonna vlog with this thing? No. So do I need that front screen like the 12 and the Action 4 have? No. I need this thing to be durable. This thing's gonna take a beating, to be perfectly honest with you. So no screens, less things that can break. Hey man, I'm all for it. And plus the GoPro Quick app works really well. I actually prefer using a bigger screen on my phone to scroll the settings, change the video settings, and even have a preview of the video that's the camera's capturing. It's really nice to see an image on this big thing rather than the little tiny screen that's on the GoPro. I can actually verify that my exposure's right, I can pick the right ND filter, and without those screens, the 11 Mini is actually quite a bit lighter than the Hero 12 and the Action 4. Approximately 20 grams lighter. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but in the world of FPV, 20 grams is a lot. And you want to add as little weight as possible to your quad with any accessories or even your camera. This is all my opinion. Everyone's not going to agree, but I'm just telling you why I chose the 11 Mini over any other action camera for my FPV drone. The other thing that people will bash the 11 Mini for is not having the ability to remove the battery and change the battery and charge batteries externally. Since putting the 11 Mini on my quad, I've never felt like the battery life impeded my ability to capture the shot that I wanted to capture. I'm not spending hours out there. I mean, I'll take a few runs and get my line without even recording on the GoPro. And then when I feel comfortable and I got my line, I know the line I want to take down a cliff or down a mountain or through a gap. That's when I'll push record on the GoPro because I'm good to go. I've practiced that run. I've practiced that line a few times, and now I'm ready to record. But regardless, for me, it wasn't a deal breaker. All right, so now all that being said, here's some quick footage of the video from the 11 Mini the first time I flew it on my FPV drone. So without further ado, let's get back to that field. All right, guys, here at my usual spot with the Nazgul Evoke. Here to do my initial flight with the 11 Mini mounted. This will be my first flight with an action camera on my quad. So I'm expecting a little bit of difference because you got that extra weight there in the front. That's gonna cause this guy to lean forward a little bit. So I have flown about a dozen times at the same location without an action camera on this quad. So let's see how this goes. Okay, initial impressions. The extra bit of weight on the front with the GoPro Mini on the front of the quad, I did notice a little bit of a difference. Nothing that was substantial. I mean, I didn't crash. The landing was a little rough. Whenever I landed, the GoPro actually was leaning forward when I went to pick up the drone from just the, I was a few feet off the ground and I cut the motors, and so it just kind of fell and landed on its feet. I need to work on my landings. I gotta learn to get just a little closer to the ground before I kill the motors. You can notice we got a little bug splatter there, so we'll see how that came out in the footage. Hopefully the filter's not scratched. I think that's just guts and stuff, so we'll see what happens with that. So, but all in all, first impressions, still really happy with the way the Nazgul Evoke 5-inch quad is flying. Just insanely stoked to officially be in the FPV hobby. Yeah, the extra weight with the action camera on the front, it really wasn't too bad. Again, I haven't been flying without it crazy amounts. Again, about a dozen flights without it. So, you know, it's not too late to learn a new trick. It's not too late to kind of change my habits and learn something new. I'm still very early in this hobby. So you guys, I know I'm not in some big elaborate cinematic setting. I'm not in the freaking mountains. I'm not at a waterfall. I'm not at a volcano. I get it. But I'm just getting into this, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me through the journey. I'm having an absolute blast with this drone, having an absolute blast getting into FPV. So really happy though I made the decision to go with the Mini 11 Black. Let's get back to the office. Let's check out the footage. We're gonna put them side by side. Well, you've already seen it at this point, but I'm really excited to see how the image of the GoPro 11 Mini Black looks in comparison to the DJI Air unit. So thanks for watching, guys.